Our last game of the day before we get to our locks, Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher. We've been talking about it all week. He's got checks to cash as he heads to Alabama. The Tide, a 24-point favorite. Stanford Steve had a really interesting question on SV Pod, Scott Van Pelt's podcast. You should listen to that every Tuesday morning. Can Texas A&M score 14 points in Tuscaloosa? Let's go Reese, Pete, Bill to zip this one up.
Well, that's the whole thing about the points. First of all, I'm over the whole Jimbo Nick spat thing. Maybe it's because A&M has struggled. Maybe it's because we don't know if the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback is going to be able to play or not. But we'll address it briefly. Mention it probably is a better way to put it on game day. That's not the compelling storyline for Texas A&M and Alabama. It's the direction of the A&M program and how thirsty is Alabama for revenge. That's how you pick the number, because the number jumps out at you as 24. Wow, that's too much. A&M will, can keep it within 24, but then you say, okay, whether it's Milroe, whether, as Pete has alluded to, whether, they might combination of Milroe and Ty Simpson, who's the third string quarterback, 5-star guy for Alabama, or if Bryce Young can play since he's day to day. Are they going to keep them from scoring 40, 42 points? Doubtful. I mean, A&M's defense is okay, but if your offense can't move, you get worn down. So I took Arkansas in the points last week and thought I was looking like a genius there for a while, and then Jahmyr Gibbs went wild. I'm going to take Alabama and lay them at home. I think I'm looking at something probably like a 42-17 game, and but that covers easily, right? 42-14's 28. So I'm going to take Alabama and lay the points.
So Reese, this is the difference between you and I. I love the Jimbo Nick stuff. I can't get enough of it. Like you're just a more polished, classy person than me. I really think it's like one of the most fascinating things we've seen in the last decade.
Pete, it was, but now, yes. And it would be if A&M were 5-0.
But see, the difference is I like leaning into this, and you're moving on to the actual football. It's just a difference between us two. That's all. I think it's fascinating, and I am taking Alabama. We could analyze the game, but I'm going to analyze the petty just to think our difference. I just think when this game hits that mid-third quarter and there's a decision to keep the foot on the gas or take the foot off the gas from Nick Saban, my general hunch after that Jimbo Fisher press conference is that the pedal will be pushed. That is just a hunch. I do agree with your analysis completely that A&M is going to have a hard time stopping them because they will not be able to hold on to the ball. I think it's that this team has shown consistently that it will flinch when the moment is big, and I don't see that. I don't see that slowing down. So I will take the Tide. I will take them to roll, and I hope we get a little more juicy storyline other than injured quarterbacks coming out of it.
Yeah, every quarterback in the country is day-to-day at the moment. They're all questionable.
Bill, that keeps me in business. So, hey.
That's true. That's true. The Saturday wave of so-and-so will play or won't play. I think you probably got like 138 articles queued up for this week. It's kind of crazy. I see the smart thing, since I'm still slightly ahead of you guys, the smart thing to do would be to just go ahead and pick Alabama too. And I'll, in the name of not feeling stupid about your pick, that would also be the way to go. But I'm going to listen to numbers against my best interests. My SP Plus ratings say 19 is the edge for Alabama, and that does not factor Bryce Young's injury in. The main reason is the A&M still just doesn't give up big plays. First time all year. Last week was the first time all year they gave up more than 21 points, and it was to a Mississippi State team that, as good as, Alabama's probably got a better offense, but Mississippi State still has one of the most unique offenses in the country. And Jalen Milroe, here's the one thing I'm going to lean heavily on as I make a terrible pick. Jalen Milroe last week, the more, if he does end up playing a lot, he was all or nothing. He was 4 for 9 passing, didn't do a lot there, but had a 70-something yard run, and Gibbs had 2 70-something yard runs. It was just, it was 3 plays that basically put that game to bed. A&M prevents big plays, does a very good job against that. Probably won't do that. It won't give up 3 70-yard gains, even if Gibbs looks so stinking fast on those runs. Man, this hurts. I'm going A&M, and I've committed to it. And I can tell you all the numbers and whatnot why, but this one probably does have a lot to do with Saban's general level of mercy, and that doesn't usually show up in games like this.